Good morning.
I've been looking in the shadows where the mystery was born. I've been kneeling with the statues in the sun that keeps me warm. I've been following the footsteps of the ones who've come and gone. I've been flying with eagles to the center of the storm. Late in the afternoon, twilight fills the sky, stretching out evening's awning. My heart explodes with joy, I can't hear the baby cry. And I have seen the light of a new day dawning. As below, so above. Warrior of love. Take the shackles from my feet and the madness from my mind. Let the circle be complete. Like this moment out of time. Make the earth and heaven speak to me. I have been deaf, dumb, and blind. Now every flower's gone to seed. With every dream my heart can find. As I turn within to the emptiness erased, I'm lifted up by the hands that adore me. The whole wide universe is filled with peace and grace. The door of life is opening before me. Give me the strength to trust. Like a warrior of love. On a silent hill where life and death collide, between the past and the present moment's glory. For every questing heart, the path is lit from inside, and all the rest of it, just your story, your story. You are alright, much more than enough. You're a warrior of love, warrior of love, warrior of love.
There you go. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Great to be here with you today. Welcome to Morning Poems and Prayers for Monday, the 24th, I want to say, 5th, somewhere in that neighborhood. Yeah, something like that. And yeah, beautiful blue sky out there this morning. We had some rain last night. I hope you had a rockin' weekend. I definitely had a rockin' weekend. I'm still putting the pieces together, thinking it all over. It was lovely, lovely time. Met some wonderful people, and very, very grateful for all of that. Let's pray in, as we say, and go ahead and close your eyes, turn within, and let's take 3 deep cleansing breaths together. Here's the first breath. Hold. And release. Nice sigh. Second deep breath. Hold. And release. Third and final deep breath. Hold. 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 Let go. Thank you. O cosmic birther of all radiance and vibration, soften the ground of our being and carve out a space within us where your presence can abide. Fill us with your creativity so that we may be empowered to bear the fruit of your mission. Let each of our actions bear fruit in accordance with our desire. Endow us with the wisdom to produce and share what each being needs to grow and flourish. Untie the tangled threads of destiny that bind us as we release others from the entanglement of past mistakes. Do not let us be seduced by that which would divert us from our true purpose. But illuminate the opportunities of the present moment. For you are the ground and the fruitful vision, the birth, power, and fulfillment, as all is gathered and made whole once again. I am my I am presence, and I am one with my Father, Mother, God. I am also one with the I am presence of every man, woman, and child on earth, the entire company of heaven, the angelic kingdom, the elemental kingdom, and Gaia, Mother Earth. I give heartfelt and sincere thanks for the sacred gift of my life. I ask my I am presence to consecrate every thought, word, feeling, and action which I express throughout this day with more love and more light for myself and my world. Word, I am word. I know who I am in peace, what I am in peace, how I serve in peace. I am here, I am here, I am here. What I am in peace, how I serve in peace. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He prepares a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. He anoints my head with oil. My cup runneth over. He sets me on a path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no man, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. The teachers of God have trust in the world because they have learned it is not governed by the laws the world made up. It is governed by a power that is in them, but not of them. It is this power that keeps all things safe. Simply do this. Be still and lay aside all thoughts of what you are and what God is. All concepts you have learned. about the world. All images you hold about yourself empty your mind of everything it thinks is either true or false, or good or bad, of every thought it judges worthy, and all the ideas of which it is ashamed. Hold on to nothing. Do not bring with you one thought the past has taught, nor one belief you have ever learned before from anything. Forget this world, forget this course, and come with wholly empty hands unto your God. Take a deep breath. That's the Course in Miracles. And let's give you the violet flame to finish. I am the open door for the violet flame. I am my I am presence, and I am one with the I am presence of all humanity, as one voice, one breath, one heartbeat, and one energy, vibration, and consciousness of pure divine love. We invoke the most intensified frequencies of the fifth dimensional crystalline solar violet flame of God's infinite perfection that cosmic law will allow. Beloved Saint Germain and your legions of fifth dimensional violet flame archangels, we ask that you blaze, blaze, blaze this violet flame with the power and might of 1,000 suns in, through, and around every thought, feeling, word, action, memory, and belief that humanity has ever expressed in any time frame or dimension, both known and unknown, that is reflecting anything less than heaven on earth. Transmute this energy, cause, core, effect, record, and memory back into its original perfection, and seal it in an invincible force field of God's comprehensive divine love. We accept that this activity of light is being God victoriously accomplished even as we call. We also accept and know that this violet flame is increasing daily and hourly, moment by moment, with every single breath we take, until this sweet earth and all her life have ascended into the fifth dimensional crystalline solar realms of light on the new earth. And so it is. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am that I am. Take a deep breath. Oakley dokley. Well, where to begin? Well, let's carry on here. I'll come back to chat here for you in a moment. Eileen Caddy, by their fruits ye shall know them, whether they are for me or against me, whether they are of the light or of the darkness. Open your eyes, and you will know with no uncertain knowing. Go within, and your heart will tell you. Do your own assessing, and do not listen to everything without. For if you listen to the many whisperings and rumors without, you will find yourself in such a quandary that you will not know what is the truth and what is not, and you will lose your way. All souls can find the truth within, but it does mean they have to take time and go within. They have to do their own thinking and find their own way. And many souls are too lazy to do it. They find it so much easier to listen to what others say and to accept what is said without going within. Be still, and you will know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Eileen Caddy. Abraham. No matter what it is, if you really want it, and if you get out of the way of it, it will happen. It must be. It is law. It can be no other way. It is the way the universe is established. If you want it and you relax, it will happen. Take a deep breath. Thank you, thank you. Some spectacular photographs of the auroras blazing on planet Earth at the moment. Here's Pars Kute one more time. He says, beautiful auroras lit up across the sky last night over Alaska. A spectacular burst of red, pink, yellow, and green auroras danced over the frozen landscapes. One of those ultra-rare displays that only happen when solar activity goes wild. The snowy banks, the still water, the jagged mountains, everything became a mirror for this cosmic fire. So that's my cue to talk about Lily Nova. She does a live every Sunday, just like Ann Tucker does a live every Friday. And they both come up on my radar as well worth listening to, especially Ann at the moment, who's doing a daily channeling from the Divine Mother, which is so powerful. We're just on day 6 yesterday. Today's day 7. But Lily showed some wonderful pictures of Three-Eye Atlas that I'd not ever seen before. And she also mentioned, she's in Sedona, that she took some photographs of some red skies over Sedona, and that a red sky is another one of the signs of the Hopi prophecy about unprecedented change coming to the earth. And we are having the red sky, my friends. There's Ann Tucker, who is well worth your time and trouble. Bless you, Ann. Yeah, 10 minutes, basically. And I've recorded it, and I re-listened to yesterday's 3 or 4 times. Here's a new one from Charlotte. Bob Dylan is in town in Ireland, November 22nd. He was in Killarney doing the 3rd of 5 Irish shows to conclude the 2025 touring year. So he's finishing up in Ireland. Bob, here's to you, buddy. You are 1 in a million, my friend. Where would we be without you? Glad to have you in the country. Bless you. Here's Carolyn Carey, who's a wonderful teacher and just a sweetheart of a human being. My buddy John Cully knows Carolyn, and I'm going to make an effort to connect the two of them, reconnect them again. She says, when I first recognized I was neurodivergent, it arrived like a quiet revelation, filled with both wonder and uncertainty. True to my nature, I dove deeply into meaning, gathering words, stories, and insights, like threads I could weave into something whole. 2 years after that first recognition, and after receiving a formal diagnosis, I finally came out. From that moment, I began folding this new understanding into my life and work, letting it ripple through everything I created. Suddenly, the patterns of my past grew clearer. I understood why I felt and acted as I did, why my ways of functioning were different, and why my creative work often called in people so similar to me, the deep thinkers, the artists, the quiet philosophers, the beautifully unusual minds who live in many worlds at once. That's very nice to hear, Caroline. We were all carrying the same exhaustion, the exhaustion of trying to fit in. Hello. The weight of pushing through discomfort, the weight of trying to put up with how we experience the world, the ache of forcing ourselves to endure spaces that were not made for us. Now many of us are speaking up, stepping into a deeper realm of understanding where honesty becomes a kind of freedom. Coming out, of course, brings fear. It is only human to worry about how others will respond. I felt that fear and uncertainty. Yes, just danced with that a few days ago. Neurodiversity has been surrounded with misunderstanding for so long. And for those who experience RSD, rejection, sensitivity, dysphoria, oh, there's a name for it. That fear feels carved into the body. Yet I knew that silence was no longer an option, and so I stepped forward anyway. I reshaped my podcast, shifted the direction of my work, and rewrote the book I was creating. Each became a lantern, lighting the inner workings of the neurodivergent mind and the tender landscape of the neurodivergent soul and body. One of the common threads within neurodiversity is hypermobility. I live with it too. In my dancing years, it felt like a gift, allowing me to move with ease and fluidity, Yet over time it also became a source of pain. I cannot dance as I once did, but I still move in ways that feed my spirit. Creativity itself has become the dance of my life. A teacher once told me to push through the pain, and for years I listened. It was the most damaging advice I could have followed. Moving on hard floors, trusting the myth that movement alone would heal every imbalance, slowly wore down the deeper structures of my body. Only later did I learn that hypermobility is a collagen difference, one that touches joints, muscles, and even internal organs. I have been inspired by the work of Dr. Jessica Eccles, known as Bendy Brain Online. Through audiobooks, podcasts, and research, I have gathered the knowledge I needed to finally understand myself more fully. Wonderful. And that's been the essence and meaning behind all of my work for myself and others. To understand ourselves from a deep core level. Most importantly, I now understand that I belong to a wider community and I can at last recognize my own tribe. Join me in Middle Earth medicine for soul cartography, storytelling, and deep explorative work on mind, body, and spirit. I'm skipping ahead there. Caroline, bless you. She says, I believe with my whole heart that every voice is needed within this growing conversation about neurodiversity. More knowledge is rising to the surface each day. I struggle when people describe it as a problem, even though the challenges are real for many. With greater awareness comes greater understanding. And this is what I want to stand for. We do not need to suffer quietly. We do not need to twist ourselves into shapes that make us acceptable in a world that was designed for only one kind of mind. The world can shift. The world can widen. The world can be reimagined to hold all of us. Beautiful soul. Bless your heart. Thank you. Carol and Carrie, my friends, seek her out. Great wisdom. So this dropped over the weekend. Mysterious Journey to Egypt. I'm going to play you this. It's 10 minutes. This is from Addie Lamborn.
Divine Activation before the 11:11 Journey to Egypt. November 4th, 2025, just days before our departure for the 11:11 Sacred Journey to Egypt, our small group of 12, friends and family, was called into higher service. On the night of November 4th, our etheric doubles were summoned into the higher realms for what was later revealed as a divine activation. In that state, we stood together in readiness when streams of radiant golden symbols began descending into our consciousness, millions of them flowing like living hieroglyphs made of light. Each symbol carried information, frequency, and divine instructions, preparing us for our 11:11 journey. Then came 2 words spoken as a clear, commanding vibration that filled the space. Creator, creation. Each of us received individual written instructions imprinted directly into our subtle awareness. Yet as a group, we were also given one collective directive of profound importance, a guidance for the entire journey ahead. We were told, do not get distracted by chatter or by the outer world. Do not drift into the consciousness of being tourists in Egypt. Instead, we were to stay centered, very still, deeply focused, and fully receptive. The message was unmistakable. Be still and know I am God. This activation prepared our inner field for the sacred 11:11 mission in Egypt, to walk not as travelers, but as conscious co-creators of a new octave of divine manifestation. The Night of Divine Play, Leela, Cairo, Mina House, November 10th, 2025. Our first night together at the Mina House next to the Pyramids of Giza in Egypt. was extraordinary. Around 3:20 a.m., our etheric doubles left our physical bodies and met in one room on the 4th floor. Our out-of-body doubles formed a circle inside the room by a glass door overlooking the pool. The moment we did, something indescribable began. Patricia Cota Robles joined us in spirit, and 2 immense beings of light entered the space. The force they carried was pure Shakti, the living current of divine creation. Within seconds, that energy filled the room, moving through each of us up the spine in overwhelming intensity. I have never experienced anything like it. We were completely overtaken by the power that arrived and entered our bodies, not in fear, but in total surrender. Then something remarkable happened. All of us began to rise. We levitated about 5 feet above the floor, each in the same relaxed position. Legs lifted, backs tilted, as if reclining in invisible chairs of rainbow light. I was drawn to the center of the circle as the energy began to audibly speak through me. Sounds I had never heard before came through my vocal cords. They weren't words, but frequencies, cosmic tones activating something deep within all of us. The group began to move together, still levitating, slowly rotating to the left in a synchronized rainbow spiral, as though we were one living mandala. The activation continued until 3:33 a.m., concluding in a sudden, perfect stillness. A deep peace followed, a kind of quiet that felt far beyond this world. Then, at 6 a.m., another wave of energy arrived. This one was more intimate, yet just as powerful. The same beings returned and spoke again, but this time they entered the etheric double body of my husband and used his vocal cords to communicate. The tone, accent, and sound that came through him were unlike anything I have ever heard. Ancient, otherworldly, almost as if an immortal being was speaking a language not bound to time or earth. This is divine play. You're here for divine play. Leela. Their message echoed loudly through the ethers surrounded us. In Sanskrit, Leela means divine play. The idea that the universe itself is the spontaneous, joyful expression of the divine. Creation, preservation, and transformation are not burdens or duties, but a joyful unfolding of God's own nature, a cosmic game of love. That morning, as the first light touched the pyramids, we understood. We are not here to prove anything. We are here to play divinely, to remember that creation itself is joy, and that joy is the essence of God. We are here to be the best characters we can be in God's divine Leela play. The door of liberation. The night before. 11:11. We found ourselves working in the subtle realms again, the night of 11:11. A group of us stood beside the single-way door of liberation, the passage through which our brothers and sisters were crossing as they freed themselves from the false matrix and the layers of manipulation that had held them for so long. As each soul approached, they carried different imprints of distortion. My specific task was clear: to remove the implants from their backs and nervous systems, one by one. The work required precision. For a long time, I moved from person to person, removing hundreds of implants from their backs. At some point, I realized I wasn't enjoying it anymore. The intensity, the sheer volume of what needed to be done, and to some extent, the inherent unpleasantness of the task began to weigh on me. And it was precisely in that moment that the Creator spoke. The voice came with a power that was unmistakable, but the tone was filled with the deepest love. The words vibrated through the entire field. In the divine play, change is how creation becomes more and more beautiful. Do not stop. Be deeply content, deeply satisfied, and yet continue to improve whatever can be made better. The instruction carried the feeling of an artist working on a masterpiece. Creation was not a burden. It was an evolving canvas. The message was clear. Keep refining. Keep uplifting. Keep shaping the world into a higher expression of light. The Creator continued. Some people only want to improve their personal lives, and when they reach a place of comfort, they stop. But you must continue, not for the self, but for all. Always keep becoming the change you can imagine for the world. Continue until everything becomes a shining world of love and light for all. Hearing this, my resistance dissolved. The work wasn't a task anymore. It was part of the divine play itself, a contribution to creation becoming more radiant with every soul liberated. Before the experience dissolved back into waking consciousness, one final message was given. Today, when you enter the Great Pyramid and stand before the Sphinx, 2 specific orange journeys will create a great positive change for all life on Mother Earth. The 2 journeys were shared and assigned as a task to be fulfilled with humility. And so we continue, step by step, in the divine play of awakening, refinement, and service to a world becoming light.
Okay, there we go. Green Tara Guru, Addie Lambourne. Her update, her report from her trip to Egypt for the 11/11. And my. You heard it here first, yes? Incredible, amazing, and every word of it true. We'll come back to Lily Nova and her pictures of Three-Eye Atlas and her updates. So Lily is a contactee, and her work with the ETs has been her activation, and they've turned all of her gifts on in terms of telepathy and astral projection and many other things. So she's well worth your time if you don't know Lily. So between Ann Tucker, Addie Lambourne, Lily Nova, here's another one, Nancy Rebecca. She had William Henry on. And then we have Richard Rudd, who's got a new book coming out. Richard Rudd of the Gene Keys, yes, has a new book coming out, an update from Spirit about the Gene Keys, and his new book is called The Sage, and he's doing work with Matthias DiStefano, and he's doing a lot of interviews right now, and preparing to introduce us to a whole new level of work. Richard Rudd is saying that 26 is really the year of shaking loose. If we thought the last few years were intense, get ready. But the good news is that with Addie, with Ann Tucker, with Oren, with Lazarus, with so many teachers and resources available, we have all the help we could ever ask for. It's just as the Divine Mother was saying through Addie there, we must remember to ask. We must do the work. You do the work, you get the goodies. This is a poem I wrote a few years ago. It's called The Shift. The shift is moving from fear to love, is taking your power back, is finding your center, no matter what, is using your mind in service to your heart, is surrendering yourself, small s, to yourself, capital S, is taking time and making space for peace as often and as deeply as possible, is trusting in Source as self, is opening to the heart of infinite possibilities, is loving and being loved and letting love guide you, is listening to the whispers in the silence and the stillness, is finding nature in your own time and timelessness, is allowing the universe to make the first move, is believing in what you sense is true for you, is real, more real than you can know, is feeling so glad to be you here now. Take a breath into that. That's pretty good. I think so too. I like it. What, this was Saturday, 124. Let me just find the course for today. I slept in this morning. I did 3 meditations. I did Adi's meditation with Yogananda about how to know God. I did Oren's meditation about clearing the etheric body. And I did Ann Tucker's latest from yesterday that I mentioned a moment ago. Well, the Course in Miracles, yeah. It's a thing. Where am I going here? Boom, boom, boom. Read the Course, the web edition. It's free, it's easy, it's enlightened. What's going on here? And when you're doing it live, it's always something else. Read the Course, yes. No. Okay, sorry. We'll save that for another moment. I'm lost in space there. We'll give you 124 one time. Let me remember I am one with God. Today we will again give thanks for our identity in God. Our home is safe, protection guaranteed in all we do, power and strength available to us in all our undertakings. We can fail in nothing. Everything we touch takes on a shining light that blesses and that heals. And that one with God and with the universe, we go our way rejoicing with the thought that God himself goes everywhere we go. Okay, there's quite a lot there, but you get that's a taster for you, yeah? The beautiful Course in Miracles. Kuthima Roba, let's do it this way. Do you remember, dear one, when you came to this world, you have brought within you a flame that wants to remain true to itself. Instead of living in total denial, when are you going to start living a life that is harmonious with what your soul knows deeply and silently? Take a breath into that. Thank you. I would like my life, Ram Dass, I would like my life to be a statement of love and compassion. And where it isn't, that's where my work lies. And here's a paragraph for us. Jake, who's a student of Ram Dass, so it is with each of us. Our life is our message. More Ram Dass. You have to honor all of the individual differences within the way karma manifests. But in everyone, when done purely, it brings you into such a state of grace that the light pours out of you and everybody looks. In the quote, the phrase, well done, when done purely. In the quote, the phrase, when done purely, Ram Dass is referring to living our karma and our resulting personal dharma. Your karma ran over my dogma. Our authentic way of being and waking up in the world. These quotes from Ram Dass speak to the quiet power of living from the heart, when done purely, points to an inner sincerity acting not from ego or performance, but from presence and love. When our service or being flows from that place, it is not about trying to shine. The light simply pours out. perhaps because our fear and ego were no longer in the way. And when Ram Dass says, where it isn't, that's where my work lies, hello, he is reminding us that the places where we fall short are not failures, they are invitations. The triggers are the treasures. Those imperfect moments are not proof we are unworthy. They are where the real practice begins. I love us, Jake. I love us too, Jake. Thank you. Here's the wonderful Cat Stevens, who is just lighting up the planet these days. This guy is everywhere. He must have an incredible publicist, because there are positive things about Cat Stevens being put out there on social media every day. And here he is in the New York Times, which is a nice article. The New York Times occasionally gets something right. It's a shock, but there it is. And Cat Stevens describing his life. He did not play music for 35 years. And he's one of the most successful musicians in the world. So you can imagine the depth of his spiritual journey, to put it that way, that we have someone who follows Islam, who is a man of tremendous compassion and integrity and humility and vision and love, is a huge gift in these times. And Cat Stevens is meant to play at the halftime of the Super Bowl this year. So on we go. Definitely one of the heroes of my childhood. And I remember where I was when I heard that Cat Stevens had come back into the public eye and was doing music again. I was at I was being a live-in caregiver in those days, and I was at a hotel on a break for a Greg Braden workshop. So here's to you, Cat Stevens, and thank you for your shining example. John O'Donohue. I will talk about things here in a moment. John O'Donohue, many different, all right, let's give you the picture. Many different strands of your past experience begin to weave together until gradually the new direction announces itself. Its voice is sure with the inevitability of truth. When your life decisions emerge in this way from the matrix of your experience, they warrant your trust and commitment. When you can choose in this way, you move gracefully within the deeper rhythm of your soul. The geography of your destiny is always clearer to the eye of your soul than to the intentions and needs of your surface mind. Let me have that again, please. Many different strands of your past experience begin to weave together until gradually the new direction announces itself. Its voice is sure with the inevitability of the truth. When your life decisions emerge in this way from the matrix of your experience, they warrant your trust and commitment. When you can choose in this way, you move gracefully within the deeper rhythm of your soul. The geography of your destiny is always clearer to the eye of your soul than to the intentions and needs of your surface mind. Kaboom. Thank you, John. John O'Donohue, John Moriarty, and John Cully, I say, my friends, my three Irish Johnnies. I had the pleasure Friday of interviewing my dear friends Vivica and David, and they're based in Spain. David is from Mount Shasta, Vivica is from Estonia, and they are working together. They're not a couple in the traditional sense, but they are definitely a couple. Vivica just had a birthday, and Facebook was saying that it was David's birthday as well for some good reason. But this is their workshop here, just very briefly, and then I'll chat for a moment. Illumined Heart Mind, Opening to Higher Existence. Our new class series, The Illumined Heart Mind, is beginning. In this, it's the first of 3, and it starts this Sunday. In this series, we will share different variations of light languages, activations, higher combinations of sounds and light. These are all different vibrational expressions of the living language of the Creator, the voice of the Cosmic Mother. These classes will offer you the mastery tools that will assist you to align with the highest order of love and fulfill the ultimate purpose of life, to know itself as love. Well, and this is also, of course, what Addie has just mentioned here as well. There's Monica, my LifeWave partner. There's David, Robert Bly. Time for Bob. Wonderful, wonderful poet and mystic and teacher. So let me just chat here for a moment. Yeah. So my weekend was full of adventures. Hope yours was as well. One of the adventures was being invited to a friend's birthday party, and she and I share a group that she's in, which she communicated to me was not everyone's business in her world. But sure enough, when people ask me how I knew her, fill in the blank. Yeah, I told them how I knew her, and I probably did that 2 or 3 times. Well, not good. Yeah, and that got back to me from herself, and here I am, apologizing twice, and now needing to talk with her about this at some point. So thoughts and prayers for that are greatly appreciated. What was Carolyn Carey saying about rejection syndrome or some madness like this? The better part of the story, that's the trigger. The better part of the story was that I brought my guitar and played and sang with, which I haven't done in public for 6 months, really, except for a few gigs at the market, 3 or 4 songs. But I played with my friend here, Alan, and Alan Bass, and Alan and I have played at St. Michael's more than a few times, and so we hadn't done that in 6 months as well. So that was a bit of a coming out party. And then I was on Speakeasy yesterday, listening to Maureen do a great talk about water and consciousness, and how water is a metaphor for consciousness and a means to create it. And I got on and talked about Charlotte Emily Rose, who I'm quite proud of as my friend, who's done her great work with the wells and clearing and healing the wells of Ireland. And she just posted another one yesterday, which I will read through here at some point in the next day or so as well. So things are happening at a furious pace, and to come back full circle to the information and whatnot, I'm trying to make all of it make sense, as we all are. But anyway, I'm playing, to finish that thought, I'm playing and singing on Speakeasy, also for the first time in 6 months, in a few weeks, on December 7th, for their 12th anniversary. And I'm at the top of the list of performers, which is very gratifying after being on twice a month for the last 18 months or so, up until June. But I've been on a break with them from June, and here we are, November. So anyway, I'm also in a group called The Artist's Way with Maureen and the Speakeasy group, which I've been struggling with, quite honestly, keeping up with and falling behind and all the rest of it. So I've got a lot going on, as we all do. And there is, and I continue to see, and I want to continue to underline, so much support for all of us at this time of unprecedented change, awakening, healing, and growth, as my guides say. So I just want to encourage me and you and all of us to rise to the challenges. And when opportunity knocks open the doors, Annie and Janet and I were on a wonderful LifeWave Zoom call last night, and really feel the momentum of a team building for me and for everyone with LifeWave after being on the journey here for about 16 months now. And that's a delight. And Mario Cabral and I are going to do a Zoom for that on Mondays. It might be as soon as tonight, but I think it'll probably start next week. But and then Wednesday night as usual, and I chatted with several people at the Friday meditation and the market on Saturday and things like this about LifeWave. And that's getting easier to do and more fun to do as well. So where am I going with all of this? We're coming down the home stretch, my friends, of this year, of this unprecedented and incredibly important year for humanity. I was listening to Ken Burns, the great documentarian, in a league of his own, and would you know he has a new documentary on PBS about the American Revolution at this divine moment when everything is absolutely coming unglued over in the US in one way or another. But the truth will set you free, but it'll usually piss you off first. We seem to be at the pissed off stage of things right now, but you can be sure the truth is coming into more people's awareness, and people are finding their voices, and I strive to be a part of that and want to be a part of that here as well. So I just say once again, thank you for joining me on this journey. If you're able to donate to the PayPal link, that would be very good. If you're interested in LifeWave and healing and financial opportunity, and you're wanting to come on a Zoom or look at my website, lifewave.com/Lou Martin, or thisisitinfo.com, or LifeWave Team Ireland. All of those things would be greatly appreciated. And meanwhile, be good to yourself. Have a fantastic day and a wonderful week. And enjoy your journey. It's the gift of a lifetime. Yeah. So thank you for being here. From my heart to yours, have a wonderful day. Peace and blessings, all my love. Peace.